Welcome to AT 24/7. I'm Aaron Dean. The latest inflation report is in, and it's showing that inflation is cooling. To help bring down inflation, the Federal Reserve has been on a months-long campaign of interest rate hikes for borrowers. The Advocate Channel's Ivan Rodriguez explains where people are seeing prices come down the most.
Stocks inching higher during the trading day Tuesday after the release of new figures from the Bureau of Labor Statistics continue to show inflation is easing. The latest consumer price index rose 3.1% for the 12 months ending in November, showing a slight decline from the 3.2% in October.
Compared to pre-pandemic levels, prices are still higher. The good news is that inflation peaked a long time ago.
Gas prices sank 5.8% from October, driving the drop in CPI. But the cost of shelter still shows no signs of easing.
We still have higher costs for shelter and services overall, so there's still a bit of a battle going on out there with respect to prices.
Food prices, on the other hand, moderated from the month before, with inflation down nearly 2/3 from its peak of 9.1% last June. President Biden is celebrating progress.
America's had the strongest growth and now is the lowest inflation of any major economy in the world, but there's more to do.
When taking out more volatile components like food and gas prices, core CPI rose 0.3% from October, leaving the year-over-year growth rate unchanged at 4%, the lowest it's been since September 2021.
Inflation has moderated somewhat more quickly than expected of late, and so we could get a pleasant surprise that inflation is not nearly the factor that we might have thought in the coming year.
I'm Ivan Rodriguez reporting.
Hasbro management says that the decision to reduce its workforce was made in light of market headwinds that are stronger and longer than projected. Hasbro is known for making toys like Nerf, Transformers, and Play-Doh. The cuts are on top of roughly 800 jobs eliminated earlier this year. Hasbro management says that the decision to reduce its workforce was made in light of market headwinds that are stronger and longer than projected. Hasbro is known for making toys like Nerf, Transformers, and Play-Doh. More than half of the nation's employees say that they are stressed out at work, but a new survey finds that some jobs are more draining than others. The 2023 report from Mental Health America's Mind the Workplace lists the top 10 most stressful jobs this year. Now, these jobs include judges, healthcare workers, and 911 operators, plus film and video editors, as well as retail sales supervisors. The job with the highest stress score, urologist. Workers in unhealthy work environments report higher rates of psychological distress that led to mental health concerns, and about 3/4 of workers said that workplace stress affects their relationships. Former New York Congressman George Santos reportedly is talking with federal prosecutors about a possible plea deal. Santos faces 23 federal charges that include misusing campaign funds and lying about his finances on House disclosure reports. Court records indicate prosecutors will ask for a status conference sometime in January, where a deal may come together for the ousted congressman. Now for an update on the Montgomery, Alabama Riverfront Brawl that took place over the summer. 2 men involved in that fight have pled guilty to harassment charges for their role in the dispute. Alan Todd and Zachary Shipman will be required to complete 12 months of probation and 100 hours of community service. Both will also have to enroll in and complete anger management training in addition to paying for their individual court costs. A new report shows that women today are not necessarily living a better life than their mothers or grandmothers. In fact, women's health and safety have dropped for the first time in decades. Researchers say millennials are the first generation of women since the so-called silent generation, which are people who lived between 1928 and 1945, to see a drop in overall well-being. The Population Reference Bureau report was based on a number of factors that examined a woman's education, income, physical, and mental health. The study looked at women between the ages of 25 and 34. Thanks so much for joining us for AT 24/7. For more, you can go to theadvocatechannel.com and subscribe on the Advocate Channel YouTube page. For the Advocate Channel, I'm Aaron Dean.